Guys, I just went and saw The Incredibles 2 for first time, first showing I could get by my house and stuff, and it was so amazing. Like, oh my goodness, this was the best. Like, I was gonna make it a joke where I come and I'm like, wow, there was a horrible movie, but I can't. It was so great. By the way, this is a spoiler video, so if you guys haven't seen the movie, click away now, unless you like spoilers, but I doubt you would have clicked on it if you didn't want to know spoilers. So, anyway, I'm not going to get all in detail with this, but it was so great. Like, 10 out of 10. I'm not joking. It was amazing. Like, I'm fangirling right now. Never used that phrase before. But, I can tell you, this was not only the best movie, but I was scared to go and see it. Like, I wasn't scared of the fact that it was scary, nothing like that. I loved Incredibles, the first movie, and I've been waiting for so long for a second one. I was scared that the movie was going to be, I'd only get an hour and a half of information. I wouldn't get anything. There wouldn't be anything on theories, and I'd just be sad when it's over because I wouldn't be happy. I'd just be sad that I walked out and there was no more to see and that could be the last movie. But I wasn't, and I'm not. This movie was 2.5 hours long. No joke. And I'm like serious. This movie like Harry Potter length. It was so amazing and I loved it so much. Like, you guys don't even know. It was amazing. Unless you saw the movie, then you know. Yeah. But basically, the screenslaver isn't the guy we all thought it was. Disney did a really good job with bringing that. And no one else thought it would be Evelyn except for Super Carlin Brothers. I'm pretty sure they came up with that theory. Not really good with remembering theories, but it was so great. I love it. I love Dash's new voice. I love seeing all the characters back. We got to see everything that we wanted to see. Jack has more powers than we even saw in, like, Jack Attack or something. Like, he can go into different dimensions. He can move things with his mind. He can multiply. And he can get really big. Am I forgetting anything? I don't know. But it was really amazing. And I even have a theory just from watching it. I tried to look for Easter eggs, but the only Easter egg I could find, because I could only see it once and I was kind of focused on the whole plot thing, was A113. And if you don't know what that is, it is the official Pixar is like where a lot of the Pixar directors went to school. So it's really cool, and I absolutely love it. They've incorporated it in every Pixar film. Obviously, the Good Luck Charm, who is voiced by someone, I forgot his name, played the Underminer, of course, and believe me, this movie is going to do great. It's not just for toy sales. It's for, like, everything. All the Marvels. I love it. And I love how everyone was brought back, the original voice actors, everything, except for Dash, because I totally understand that. That is totally fine. And he did a great job of doing his voice. I think it was just amazing. I can't really say anything really bad about it. The plot was great. But, there are a few problems with the film. And don't worry, this isn't a criticizing video. This movie was beyond what I was expecting. I expected it to be good, but I didn't expect it to be my favorite Pixar film since I was born. Like, I'm not joking. This is my favorite Pixar film. At least as for right now. I love it. It could even be my favorite movie. So, yes, I had to come straight home and show you guys a theory video. Here's my theory, but first, let me tell you the downsides of the film. One, I don't really see, like, it doesn't look like it's from the 1950s, because that's when the movie is supposed to take place, or 1960s, something like that, like in the mid-1900s. it doesn't look like that. Like, I love the show Just Our Magic, and I definitely advise you guys to watch it. It is on Amazon Prime. Season 3 just came out. You guys should go watch it if you guys like a magic cookbook and cooking and stuff like that.
What is it?
It's a cookbook. My grandma's.
This cookbook is at least 500 years old.
These are totally magical.
So yes, why am I doing this? Anyway, so it doesn't look like it was taking place in the 1950s. I mean, the whole thing is about how screens, everyone looks at screens for their news. Like, you guys are looking at a screen right now for their news. Like, I see that as very now time and stuff. But I still come up with games. I go outside. I do a bunch of cool things. I am totally into sports. I do a lot of that stuff. So yeah, besides the point. I feel like it doesn't take place in the 1950s. Like, why would all those amazing inventions be in the 1950s? Sure, the clothes look right, but do the buildings and the look of everything and the fancy outfits and stuff, like, I see some of the kids walking down the street and I think, oh, that's 1950s. And the buildings, some of them can pass for it, but not, like, it doesn't scream 1950s. It could totally take place in this time period. Like, there's nothing holding them back from just saying, it takes place in the 2000s or whatever. Like, that's exactly what it's like. And I feel like if they wanted it to be in the 1950s, they should have incorporated that. But I do get, since this is like a big upcoming movie and has a lot to do with screens and a lot of gadgets, I get why they didn't really go for that way, but I still don't think it takes place in the 1950s. Potential theory. Second, I think that all superheroes have two powers. Two powers. Two powers. Two powers. I know what you guys are thinking. What do you mean? Well, Violet has two powers, and we get that, right? Or maybe just at least the Parr family has two powers. That's why I'm going to go with Parr family. But Violet has two powers, and we all know of them. Force fields and invisibility. By the way, her force fields got stronger and can do way more things. Like, in one point, there's a hole in the wall, and she can literally make a force field that makes this hole from this big, and it just expands the hole. So apparently, she can control how big they are after she creates them. And electricity affects her force fields. Like, it can sort of break them down, which I think is interesting. You can also see that in Incredibles 1. If you want a more detailed version on Violet's powers, then let me know in the comments and I'll make a whole video on Violet's powers and all that kind of stuff and everything I found out. So yes. But I do think since Jack has so many powers, it's just that he's developing. Even Edna said that this baby is so full of potential that he needs to develop.
Huh, that sums it up.
And the mom and dad, Bob and Helen, they also said that this never happened with any of their other kids, but I totally get that. Maybe it's just with Jack because he doesn't really have a personality yet. The movie was hilarious and I loved it. But back to the two superpower thing. I realized that Bob in the first movie, because I watched the first movie 3 times before I saw the second one, just so I didn't like miss anything or forget anything, which is probably a good idea. Sorry, you can only see half my body right now. Well, less than half. But Bob, I feel like, is kind of like indestructible. And I know what you guys are thinking, but he gets hurt and he gets cut and stuff like that. But I think the ability is that he can't die, literally. Like, he feels pain. But if you guys have never seen Henry Danger, which is a Nickelodeon show that you guys should definitely go watch, it's very good.
Hello? My name is Henry Hart. I'm here about the job.
I'm gonna blow a bubble.
You're gonna blow a bubble?
I'm gonna blow your mind. What do you say, Henry? You wanna be my sidekick?
Yeah.
Or at least I like it because I love superheroes. Well, the main superhero is indestructible, and he can feel pain, but he just can't get hurt. Which I get how Bob gets hurt in the first movie where he gets a cut on his shoulder. But do you really think that Syndrome's robot can throw him across the, really far, and just, throw him across, 5 times in a row, and yet he gets up like nothing happened? Maybe he, you could tell he feels the pain, but you don't see a scratch on him. That's just crazy. Plus, the super suit probably does cover his feet in this part, but when he's in the volcano in the very first movie, you can tell that a volcano, not that it would burn his feet, it probably would, but Edna's work is probably very well done. But that's not the point. That much heat for that long could definitely not be good for you. Like, it could kill you probably. With that much heat that someone accepts, there's not enough oxygen in that air or water. So that's kind of crazy. Plus, in the second movie, he goes underwater for a very long time. Dash even states he's been underwater for too long, but he's not suffering at all down there. He's like just holding his breath, and he's probably under there for like 5 straight minutes. That's impressive. Like, wow. He doesn't even like choke or anything when he comes up. And like the Underminer's wheels, they go right around him. And like everything, he gets hurt all the time, but he never like hurts his bones or breaks anything. I mean, that's just crazy. Okay, number two. This is actually Helen's other superpower. If you didn't notice, Helen has elasticity, which if you haven't seen the movie, then it's probably obvious that you know. I'm thinking too much about this. Anyway, Helen's ability is elasticity, and she can stretch very far, and I think Edna said about 50 feet without injuring herself, which is very cool. But if you haven't noticed that she's the same power as Bob's, which is super strength. Here's why I say this. One, she throws this man in the first movie, one of the guards, she throws him with one arm. I mean one arm. Grabs him, throws a full-grown man, and just tosses him like he's a ball. And like literally throws down like a plane. Like, you guys don't get this. She's got a major upper body strength, and I get that because she stretches a lot. But wouldn't you think she like doesn't have a lot of muscles when she's stretching? She stretches to pick up the guy. Like, I'm not joking. She's very strong. Like, that's no joke. Strong. Dash, on the other hand, I haven't totally figured out his superpower. But I am working on that. If you guys want a whole 2 superpower video, comment down below. That's including all the like extra things. So yeah, if you guys want that, comment down below. So this is just my review of The Incredibles movie. I absolutely love it. There wasn't really anything wrong with it. I think it was great. It was definitely worth going to see. Guys, go see it. But again, you wouldn't click on this if you didn't want to know about it. So you probably already have known about it and you just want to hear my opinion. I'm not mad. So yes, this movie was amazing. I so want to do a skit about it. I wish I had a little brother so I could have Dash. But I don't. I would just have to wait till my friends come down. Jaden, shout out to you because I need you and your brother for certain things. I need you to do the clothes challenge, and I need Jack to be my little brother in several things because everyone knows my other cousin will never do that. Anyway, you guys are all awesome. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, liking, and definitely go hit the little bell notification. You guys are awesome. Bye!